Hey guys! So, why am I screaming? Why am I screaming? When I watched my first video, I was like, why is she screaming at me? So, welcome back to my channel. Today we're having a sleek bun because the hair is ready to be washed and it's kind of gross. So I gelled it back. So yeah. I am recording this video for the third time because my washing machine kept being so loud, so I hope the sound is fine now. Today, I want to talk about what does becoming your own home mean. Also, I want to talk about my journey a bit, where I come from, and so that you know a little bit more about me and why I even talk about this. So, I want to start with just explaining what becoming your own home means. It's really about finding that place of peace and calm within yourself. Finding love and safety within yourself. Which is like, duh. Of course, everybody wants that. But I think that this is really not easy in the chaotic world that we live in, with so much stress and outside noise. It can be really hard to hear yourself and to really get to know you for who you are. And that's basically it. So, what got me thinking about becoming my own home is basically my own journey. And that started very young. I was 13 years old when I started watching YouTube. So it's more than 10 years. Whoa, which is crazy when I think about that. And the main reason why I was looking on YouTube was I was living in, let's say, difficult circumstances. And I think that many people do. It's not always easy, especially when you're growing up. You're just finding who you are. You don't even know yet who you are. And I didn't feel that in my close circle, I had role models that reflected how I want to be, how I want to see life, and how I want to live life, basically. So for me, social media was one of my biggest blessings. And I think, yes, we're talking about the downside a lot, but there's such a huge positive side about it that also this is why I want to use it as something positive, something to inspire other people, something to like get my creative energy flowing. Because basically that was what inspired me to take action and do something about my life. When I was young, I was struggling a lot with my mental health and also with my physical health. And that's why I got really interested in what makes people happy. And what I learned along the way, what I can say now after studying physiotherapy, after being a physiotherapist for years and working with many patients, I know that the mind and the body they're just one. You cannot separate, because what I learned is that you can only have a happy mind if you have a healthy body. And by that, I mean that this goes hand in hand. If you are treating yourself badly, if you are not taking proper care about yourself, if you don't do any sort of movement, and if you eat like shit, you're not gonna feel great. No matter what affirmations you tell yourself, no matter what you try to manifest, you actually have to do something about your life. And in order for it to improve, you have to improve. So yeah, basically what I wanted to say is I got into nutrition very early because I was struggling from a massive eating disorder, and I knew that wasn't making me happy. So the more I learned about it, the more I understood how much nutrition affects our mood, and basically that led me into this whole world of health and psychology and gratitude and law of attraction and manifestation and all of this kind of stuff. And later on, it led me into the scientific world more. So that's why I studied physiotherapy, because I was so interested in the science behind movement and also about health in general. And I really wanted to learn about this stuff from a medical side and from a scientific side. And in my job, I talk a lot about how stress affects our bodies. And it's no matter if it's emotional stress or actual like work stress, stress in life, whatever kind of stress it is. And we tend to have a lot of stress because we are constantly overstimulated. So it can be very hard to regulate our nervous system. And especially with working with clients for so many years, I saw how much stress and not being able to navigate your emotions or keeping them inside yourself really makes us unhealthy. And that's also why I reflected and wanted to get all of these things out on here, because here I can talk more about the mindset part and about my way of thinking and also the lessons I learned along the way. And I think that that's really important, because what I miss on social media or what I experience with many videos that I watch is that it can be very overwhelming. And when you're watching a video on how to become more confident and they tell you like 63 things on how to become more confident, I feel like I have to fucking change my whole life. And like it makes me feel like, oh my God, like it's unreachable, or it's so hard to actually do this stuff. But that's why I want to break it down to the really easy things, because I think that becoming your own home is actually not about doing something than the inner work, because it's literally the truth that all that you need, you already have inside of you. But we just have to find a way back to hear ourselves and to really explore ourselves in a way of getting to know who you are. Because when I reflect on my life, I've always been a huge people pleaser, and I have always been an overachiever because I thought that achieving what I wished to achieve would make me feel worthy of myself. And that basically led me to a place in my life where I achieved basically everything career-wise that I wanted at a very young age. And it didn't make me feel the way that I wanted it to make me feel. And I felt really confused and ungrateful at that point, because I just felt like, why don't I feel it? Like, it didn't change anything now. And do I even want this? Like, I was questioning so much at this point, because I think that for the first time, I stopped running towards something that I thought would make me feel a certain way. And I really stopped for a second, and I became really honest with myself. And I cut off every toxic relationship in my life, because always being a people pleaser and not having any boundaries, healthy boundaries, probably makes you get in relationships that you only relive what's already not working inside of you. And I basically did exactly that. I got myself into very unhealthy relationships, and I didn't really nourish the relationship that I have with myself, because I always had someone else that I could make happy, that I could take care of, that I could feel loved by. So I didn't have to give it to myself. So it wasn't until I decided to be alone for some time and really nourish the relationship that I have with myself, and really, for the first time in my life, I think, really getting to know myself on a deep level, even though I was already doing all this inner work for so many years. But I think it was this point that I really began to understand it on a whole different level. And basically, this is the reason that I want to share these lessons, but also I feel like I need to explain where it comes from, so that you have a better understanding of like this vision, what becoming your own home really means. So yeah, this is basically it. I promise to keep it short. I do. So I want you to really reflect and ask yourself, what does becoming your own home mean to you? And how much time do you spend with yourself? Not by doing anything. Like, I mean, how much time do you spend with yourself, undistracted? And what do you do to really nourish that relationship? How do you take care of yourself? And next time, I don't know yet what exactly I'm going to talk about, because I have so many topics to get out there. But if you feel like sharing, share it in the comments. If you feel like liking, like this video. If you feel like this could help someone, then send it to them. Also, watch my other video that I made. It's my first one. So maybe you can leave some love. And see you in the next one.